The first episode of the Duchess of Sussex podcast, which explores female stereotypes, was released today. Meghan is joined by tennis star and close friend Serena Williams. She also speaks of the negativity she has faced as a result of her ambition. Entitled The Misconception of Ambition with Serena Williams, the pair discuss the double standards women face when they are labeled ambitious. To be honest, I certainly would not want S. Williams as one of my friends. Still, it goes to show that Meg likes certain types of people. I mean the type of people that humiliate a fellow tennis player, Naomi Osaka, by behaving in a most disgraceful manner in public at the American Open, in which Naomi came out as the victor. The total disrespect that I showed towards Naomi and the umpire was nothing short of outrageous. Yes, women who are held back actually mean they are holding other women back. The hypocrisy is staggering. The Duchess and the sports champion also share personal stories about the struggles they felt as new mothers. And Prince Harry makes an appearance, with Meghan saying, "You wanna come to say hi? Look who just popped in." Harry tells the tennis superstar, "I like what you've done with your hair. That's a great vibe. I see her first guest is a black woman. No surprise there. Thus archetype stuff is rubbish anyway. Women have always managed to push boundaries. I even did it myself when I studied for a computer science degree starting in 1982. I was one of 6 women in a cohort of 80 men. By the time we were sitting the honors modules, there were only 13 men left on the course and 2 women, and we got the top marks. I won't be watching Markle rubbish." She replies, "Thank you. Good to see you too as always, I miss you guys." The Duke responds, "Well, come and see us," with Meghan saying they will make a plan. As Harry leaves, Meghan says, "Thanks, my love." During the episode, the Duchess speaks out about being branded ambitious when she started dating Harry. She says, "I don't even remember hearing the negative connotations of the word ambition until I started dating my now husband. And apparently ambition is a terrible, terrible thing, for a woman, that is according to some. So, since I've felt the negativity behind it, it's really hard to unfeel it. I can't unsee it either in the millions of women and girls who make themselves smaller, so much smaller on a regular basis." Meghan also recounts a story of how her son Archie narrowly escaped a fire in his bedroom where he was supposed to be sleeping during the Sussexes' tour of South Africa when they were working royals. Meghan slipped under the radar earlier as she clawed her way ahead. Meghan was always a ruthless user of other people to achieve her own ambitions. However, this was not uncovered publicly until she picked on a high-profile person to use and abuse, plus his even higher-profile family and grandmother. Archie's then nanny had taken the 4.5-month-old tot with her downstairs as she went to get a snack, and while they were gone the heater in the nursery caught fire. Meghan says she was told after she and Harry finished the royal engagement. She adds, "We came back. And, of course, as a mother, you go, oh, my God, what? Everyone's in tears, everyone's shaken. And what do we have to do? Go out and do another official engagement? I said, this doesn't make any sense." Serena reveals Harry helped her with the decision to retire from tennis as she spent an hour discussing the issue with the Queen's grandson. Meghan, who quit the monarchy with Harry, says, "I think, I think both of us, or the 3 of us, really know that sometimes the right decision isn't the easiest decision. It takes a lot of courage, I think, to stop something in many ways than to keep going sometimes." Dr. Laura Cray, a leading expert on gender in the workplace, also features in the episode. A new promotional clip for Archetypes was also released today, with the Duchess saying, "It's time to cut through the noise." The second episode, which is out next week, features singer Mariah Carey as a guest. The former Suits Stars Archetypes podcast was announced back in March. In the series, Meghan will investigate the labels that try to hold women back. The Duchess will speak to historians and experts to uncover the origin of these stereotypes and have uncensored conversations with women who know all too well how these typecasts shape our narratives. She totally doesn't get the irony of what she's doing. Harry always has to make an appearance, just to remind everyone that she married into the royal family, at the same time she is trashing it. So she was in South Africa and didn't want to make the engagement on her calendar? Well, wake up and smell the coffee. Not many people want to leave their children with caregivers and go to work. She's incomprehensible. In a teaser when the series was announced, Meghan said, "This is how we talk about women, the words that raise our girls, and how the media reflects women back to us. But where do these stereotypes come from? And how do they keep showing up and defining our lives?" This is Archetypes, the podcast where we dissect, explore, and subvert the labels that try to hold women back. I'll have conversations with women who know all too well how these typecasts shape our narratives. And I'll talk to historians to understand how we even got here in the first place. Meghan and Harry signed their deal with Spotify after quitting as working royals in 2020 for a new life in America. In December that year, they released a holiday special podcast episode that featured celebrity guests as well as their son Archie. However, since then Sussex fans have been eagerly awaiting further content from Archie Audio. This podcast is brilliant. It's what I've been waiting for the last 6 months. I have a problem with teenagers hanging around outside my house causing a nuisance. I downloaded this podcast, played it on a loop outside my house, and nuisance teenagers are now gone. In a world worried about famine, energy shortages, and the cost of living, do we really care about phrases used to disenfranchise women? Especially from an ex-party girl who spent a lot of time with men to try and enhance her career prospects? Seriously. Apart from anything else, it sounds really boring. Seems to me the only misconception of her ambition is that it actually means her using men to climb the ladder. She has no talent, no morals, is not trustworthy or honest. She does not represent modern strong empowered women. She represents a rather less savory sort of woman that those with morals, decency, respect, and dignity avoid, ignore, or stay far away from. Vile woman. Hold on tight, the Markle starts her lectures. In her first podcast, she should discuss the archetype of a deal or no deal briefcase girl. Her second podcast should be about the archetype of a yacht girl, and in her third podcast, she should elaborate on the archetype of a family destroyer. Will make interesting listening, indeed. So why did she go through with the engagement, spectacle of a wedding? Oh wait, maybe the millions and millions that were lavished on her, and then the titles from marrying a man who could make her rise even further up the ladder. I really don't know why the royals are so cruel to her. Nothing but a self-serving publicity stunt of no substance, lacking intelligence or anything relevant to anyone or anything. Spotify's flushing itself down the toilet with an insufferable, nobody-proven, hateful, jealous liar with no redeeming qualities whatsoever, using a gifted title she's not earned, respected, or worthy of. Absolutely disgusting. I think in her head she thought she was joining a reality show, and as she was the prettiest and most talented of the cast, she would obviously get the prime role. After all, she was a minor Hollywood star already. Unfortunately for her, she was neither the prettiest nor the most talented, and instead of being the star, she was just a member of the cast in a supporting role. That must have hurt, being in the second row. No, my dear twisted little Meghan, you have misunderstood. The negativity you faced wasn't because of your ambition. That's up for debate another day. It was purely and simply because you are basically a malicious liar, shameless grifter, and a complete fraud.